Hello, David here with Northwest Outdoor Adventures, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite new road shoe, the Altra Escalante version 1.5. Alright, so jumping right into this shoe review, if you've seen my channel before, you probably know that I am more of a trail runner than a road runner, but I do partake in the roads. Probably 30% or so of my running is done on roads, I would guess, for my training. Mostly around my house, paved bike paths and things like that. I'm not a particularly speedy guy, so take my review with a grain of salt because I'm definitely more interested in the trail side of things, and so this is more of a trail runner's perspective on a nice road shoe just to get me by. And so, I'll also be comparing this largely to the first version, or the first iteration of this shoe, which I have been using almost exclusively for my road running for the past I don't even know, maybe a year or so. And I've really liked the first version of this shoe. I've had two pairs probably in the past year, and I would guess I probably put around close to 500 or 600 miles on this black pair and about 300 or 400 on this gray pair. So yeah, I've really liked these shoes. Zero drop is not super common, I suppose, in road shoes in that community. So hit and miss there for some people, but I really like the zero drop even on the roads. And the new version, the 1.5 of the Escalante, is no stranger to that. It is, of course, zero drop, one of Altra's trademarks. And they've made some updates to the shoe, pretty much all of which I think have been pretty good. I got this black on black pair, which I think looks amazing. Unlike a lot of trail shoes where you see a lot of weird coloring and things like that, the colorways on the Escalante are pretty much all good. And I especially like this one, the black on black. So real quick, big differences, that you notice right off the bat from version 1 to 1.5. It looks like there is a new knitted upper that they've integrated into the shoe. And the heel is a bit different, the heel cup on this. And I believe the midsole is a little different too. And I'm not a super big shoe guy, but I do like new technology, especially when it's implemented well. And from what I can tell, I've probably been running in these shoes now for close to a month, which unfortunately I just did a 100-miler a month ago, so it's been a little limited. Probably have about 50 or so miles on these. So I probably only have about 50 miles or so on these shoes, but I feel like they are broken in enough for me to give a decent review, at least a quickie review in my opinion on these so far. So like I mentioned, they have updated the shoe a bit. And so far, from what I can tell, I believe they've claimed it's a bit more breathable now. And they've also updated the tongue, which I don't think I mentioned yet, which I was a little skeptical at first because the tongue has, you can probably see here, this reflective band that's kind of on there, which was missing in version 1. The tongue in version 1 is just this knit tongue that's very malleable. You really don't notice it much at all. Very comfortable. So I was a little worried about that initially when I got these. However, it has proved to not be an issue at all. I haven't noticed it. The tongue does feel a little bit stiffer, but it does have some perforations down on the top of your midsole, which is going to be impossible to see in this video, but trust me, it's there kind of at the base of the tongue. And I do believe it's made the shoe a bit more breathable. The knitting overall is super comfortable. So one of the main reasons I liked version 1.0 of these shoes, and a huge reason for these shoes why I like them, is because they look like you can just wear them around the office. They're not super outgoing, I guess. They're very neutral colors, at least this colorway. And so it's just a nice, good looking shoe that you can wear around town without, they're not the Hoka color scheme or anything like that. That's super crazy. And they're just very comfortable. Like the knitting in here, I love it. Super comfortable. I really don't have too many bad things to say about the shoes. It did come with new laces as well. I mean, obviously new laces, but it looks like the lace design is slightly different than the Escalante version 1.0's. I don't know, I haven't gotten confirmation from Altra that that's the case, but from what I can tell, anyways, between the two, they seem to be a different type of lace that's a bit more stretchy and stuff, which who really cares, I suppose, but I do like it a little bit better. So big takeaways for me are fit is almost identical to the first version of the Escalantes, which if you like those, I imagine you'll like these as well. I do think the colorway looks a little bit better. I do feel like the toe box, it's like any other ultra road shoe. It is what it is. It's got kind of that wider forefront of your foot. Not wider overall, of course, just that toe box itself is a little bit wider. And it's got that foot shape that Altra is known for. That's pretty much it. A quickie review. Like I said, I really don't have anything negative to say about the shoe aside from the price. $130 is a little steep for me, but like I mentioned, if I can get the same amount of mileage I got out of the version, if I can get the same amount of mileage out of the new version as I could with version 1.0, like that 500 to 700 mile range, $130 is probably worth it for me. So, keep that in mind. Little pricey, but overall, I think pretty good. And, 50 or so miles in, I've got nothing but good things to say about these shoes. So if the Zero Drop Ultras, if you're a fan of them, I'd urge you to check these out because I think they're pretty great. All right, well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.